Hello, cataract surgeons. Let's watch this case that I operated recently. This is a 49-year-old male with the posterior synechiae localized at 3 o'clock. We're gonna do some dissection of viscolysis, and that seems to have worked well. Main wound is coming in, more viscoelastic, and dissection in that area of the synechiae at 9 o'clock position on your screen, at 3 o'clock position of the patient's right eye. Now making the stoma after staining the arterial capsular vision blue and creating a flap and running the flap 360. So in this case, either you bypass that area of the synechiae in case of there is thinning or posterior synechiae, or you can just ignore it and come before it as we did here. I made like a smaller rhexis because I know this nucleus is very soft and it's very easy to extract, so I wasn't very generous with the rhexis, fearing that there is something still stuck or like under the synechiae on the anterior capsule or fibrosis. So I said, you know what, just let me leave it, especially that the pupil is too small, so I didn't want to take risk and extend it beyond that area of the synechiae. So like this is a soft cataract again, like bulking the center and doing the bowl technique, and that is going very smoothly. The pupil is small, but as you can see, we're still able to manage debulk and chop and then bring the pieces from the equator to the center and then slowly emulsifying them. It's worth mentioning that I used only the epinucleus mode in this case, and it was quite sufficient. Here the cortex removal mode, and we're removing like big chunks of cortex under the iris. It's not very visible, so what we can do is visco dissect it and bring it to the center, and maybe lifting the iris to see what's going on underneath. So here, like, we're doing some visco dissection, injecting the helon under the edge of those cortical matter to help bring it to the center. Yeah, later on, like, we can lift the iris lip and see what's going on underneath. Some visco dissection. I thought like maybe I am done here. I extended the wound and started to plan my IOL implantation, but only then I found this large cortical piece sitting underneath. So I said, okay, fine, I'm just gonna implant the lens and remove that little sheet afterwards. What happened here after I injected the IOL, that cortical sheet just seeped under the optic and became very challenging to remove. Let's watch like how we're gonna remove it. Here at first, like, some cortical matter was on top of the optic that was removed easily, but the part that was under the optic was quite difficult and challenging to remove. Like we don't have access to that anymore, especially with these small people. I cannot see the optic margin. I'm trying to catch the edge of it, the edge of the cortex, like from different angles. I couldn't. I filled up some viscoelastic to kind of like get a grip on it. I couldn't either. So I left the optic here and then injected viscoelastic underneath, and like lifting it to 45 or 90 degrees towards the AC, and making sure like under the bag you have like enough viscoelastic support, and only then that viscoelastic will express that cortex, and then you can remove it with the IA mode. So don't get intimidated. You can always lift the optic and clean underneath, whether it was viscoelastic or cortex. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.